monthly meeting tonight. You are here in the right place. This is BPM RIA, Broward, Palm Beach, Miami Real Estate Investors Association, your only local chapter here in South Florida that is approved and partnered with the National RIA. So good for you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for being here. As you guys are trickling on in, I have some awesome announcements for you all. And if you all don't know me, I feel like I know everyone in here, but if you don't know me, my name is Alexa, Operations Manager here at the BPM RIA office. And we have an awesome webinar today, monthly meeting tonight. We're going to learn how to turn a single family home into a monthly $5,000 to $15,000 cash flow with residential assisted living. We have Isabel here. She's going to introduce herself in just a moment, but we have a raffle, everyone. So if you are interested in winning the raffle tonight, all you have to do is text the word membership to our event line, 954-800-6961. I popped that in the chat for you guys. So good luck. One of you guys will be getting paid. Yes, paid to be watching and participating in our monthly meeting tonight. So anyone wants a membership, go text that word to that number, take a picture, go to the chat box. I'll be popping it in there throughout the webinar so you guys don't forget to enter in the raffle. So good luck. Upcoming events, guys, lots of good things. So please take note, go to the website. I'll pop the link in the chat for you guys. But next week we have 2 webinars. We have Diversified Passive Income Fund coming back to teach us how to explore the benefits of investing in a real estate hedge fund in the current market conditions. Super excited. And yes, we are having Get Fundable rescheduled. It's back Thursday next week. How to recession-proof your business and your credit. So please go register for both those right now. And looking forward to seeing you guys 2 times next week. Following week, we're skipping over a week. We are going to be in Vegas for a conference, and Anish is back-to-back conferences. So good for him, absolutely killing it. Driving for Dollars, RIAFax coming back to teach us how we can use their Deal Finder software while we are driving for dollars. Highly recommend all of the students and non-students coming to this webinar, members, everyone, because we do have a discount code with RIAFax, and the more you learn how to use it, the better you will be. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. And then right around the corner, again, monthly meeting, we're bringing in Pete Youngs, AKA Mr. Rehab, to the virtual classroom. So looking forward to seeing you all there for our monthly meeting. And then our next in-person workshop, 20 ways to invest in real estate. I absolutely love this training. And I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person on Saturday, July 2nd in Broward. And you can go and RSVP for this right now since it is limited seating. So looking forward to seeing you guys there in person, and go to the website to find all of these meetings right now. Awesome. One of my favorite ways to keep up with events, as many of you will know, is via text. All you have to do is text the word BPM REIA to our event line to opt into text updates. You'll get a reminder day of the event with the registration link that we have an event that day. Super easy, super convenient. Go take a picture right now or look at the chat box if you're interested in getting those text updates. All righty, quick start boot camp. My favorite topic. Our next 2-day boot camp is August 5th and August 6th. This will be 2 full days on Zoom, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This training is completely led by Anish Dave, our lead mentor and CEO. We will have 4 incredible guest speakers on this training. We're going to get into wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing. Super awesome. Look forward to seeing you guys there. And thank you so much for responding to this poll. It helps me know so much. Just gets to know you guys a little bit better and who I need to pay more attention to and get more information. So thank you guys so much for responding to these polls up here. And as you can see on the screen, we have member and non-member pricing, $495 for members, $695 for non-members, and you can go ahead and get your membership and member ticket all in one sweep. Go ahead and click that link in the chat box to get more details on the speakers that are in there and all the awesome things that we learn in that 2 full day training, which I have to tell you guys is a money back guarantee. Just letting you all know it's a no-brainer and it's amazing. So looking forward to seeing you guys at our next Quick Start training. Alrighty, so members, you guys know you get all the goodies. You get the National RIA benefit package. You get in free for the in-person networking meetings. Your guests come in at half price for $10. And then you get the special pricing for all of our boot camps, any special workshops like that. So thank you guys again for responding to the poll up here. If you are interested or you need to renew or buy your membership right now, link is in the chat for you guys. Go to the website, go to the memberships tab. It's right there. It's also in the chat for you guys. So thank you so much for responding to the polls. Now we know you guys are awake. We got to get you guys awake and responding before Isabel comes on. So thank you guys so much for waking up here. I love it. Awesome. You guys are great. All right, mentoring and coaching here at BPM RIA. Some of you may know that we do have a one-on-one coaching program. Some of you may not. For anyone that still has questions about the mentoring coaching program, please, I invite you to the website to book a discovery call with me where I can get you some more information about our one-on-one coaching program. We have a very, very unique program here at BPM RIA. We put up 100% of the money for our students' deals and split the profit 50-50. We set our students up for complete success and provide them with all the tools and resources they need to start doing deals. So if you have any questions on what's included in this training, pricing, anything like that, please go to the website and book a discovery call with me so we can set aside time that works for you, set aside time that works for me, and get to your questions. And I will be more than happy to schedule this 1 hour free consultation with a mentor so you can get into all the nitty-gritty questions. And yes, this is my phone number. Please don't call me while we're in the monthly meeting tonight, but go ahead and save that number in your phone and give me a call tomorrow and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. All right. And, you know, always have to take a moment to thank the National RIA. Thank you guys for being in this webinar right now. Thank all of our corporate members, all of our students. Thank you, Anish. Thank you, Isabel. Everyone just that's taking a part in this event. Katie, I know you're here. Everyone, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alexa. And so just in case you don't know who I am, where in the heck have you been? We've done over 90 events last year. I should be everywhere. No, I'm kidding. So maybe you do know me. I know there's some new names on here so I'm the president of BPM RIA. We were formerly BRIA. We are really committed to education and having great speakers and great topics. And so for me, on a personal end of it, I've been very fortunate to know the Garino family for, gosh, like almost 10 years. My beard wasn't as much gray, but I've known him for that long, starting with Isabel's dad. And so a lot of you guys, right? I know some of you guys love short-term rentals. I got it. Some of you guys love wholesaling. I got it. Some of you guys love rehabbing. Well, what happens if I told you could have a simple house and you could even make more money on cash flow? And you could do this in numerous neighborhoods. And that's when, when the first time I heard it, I was like, are you kidding me? Really? These are the numbers? What the heck? And so we've had, it's been actually a little bit of a time. I think we're probably about 2 years since we've had Residential Assisted Living Academy come back. And, Isabel and I have worked together for numerous years. So I am beyond excited. So you don't want to hear me talk about anything anymore. I want to introduce our main event, Isabel Garino, and the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I am so excited to be here with you all. I'm going to get my screen shared and then we're going to get rocking and rolling. So hang tight. 1 second. Because I know we've all got to get watching that Heat game tonight because that is the most important thing. All right. I hope you guys can see my screen. If it looks okay, let me know. I will definitely answer Q&A at the end. So if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A area. But I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Thank you so much, Anish and Alexa, for having me. In the past, my dad had come to share with this group all about residential assisted living, and he was kind of known as the godfather of residential assisted living. He passed away in October of 2021, and I just wanted to do a little shout out to him, since some of you on the call may have been a member and seen him in the past or heard about assisted living through him. And I did want to honor him a little bit tonight, since he had been to this group, and offer you guys his book, The Silver Tsunami of Seniors, for totally free if you scan this QR code. And Katie can probably drop a link in the chat. You should be able to grab his book for free. But truly, when he passed, our family and our company kind of had to decide, what is the next step forward? Do we just stop? Do we just quit what we're doing? Or do we keep pushing forward? You see, there's so many seniors left to serve, and there's so many entrepreneurs and business owners, real estate investors, just like yourself tonight, who still are looking to get involved with something like this. So my gift to you tonight, and let's get rocking and rolling. You guys, why is right now the best timing for senior housing? Well, it doesn't seem like good timing for a whole lot of things, but if you guys aren't aware, the baby boomers have been driving the economy for the last 70 plus years. And this is our final chance to take advantage of the trends that they create. The silent generation is who currently is in assisted living. It's not the baby boomers yet. We're still 10, 20 years out from most baby boomers needing assisted living. But look at those numbers. There's 47 million in the silent generation and 76 million baby boomers, but we're currently 1.3 million beds short. Now, I know I'm talking to people who invest in Florida, and that might seem crazy to you, because in Florida, there's so many of these homes, but around the rest of the country, they're really lacking. And we're about to almost double the amount of people who need housing and care. This is a massive opportunity, and timing has never been better. The world looked very different in 1950 versus what it's projected to look like in 2050 or 2060. That 85 plus demographic is the fastest growing demographic on planet Earth today. And the shape of this chart went from pretty triangular to quite rectangular. There's just more millions of people alive than we've ever had before. So timing has never been better. But what we're talking about with residential assisted living is disrupting the senior housing industry, kind of like what Uber did to taxi or what Airbnbs did to hotels. We're saying no more are big box facilities the only option. No more do you have to feel bad about putting your loved one into a quality care home. There's something different, there's something better, and you'll probably like it, right? Just like that first Uber we all got into, right? When Uber was first came out, and it was like, I have to download an app and get in a stranger's car. And it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. And now, I don't know about you guys, but I Uber everywhere, right? I can't even imagine taking a taxi these days. And that's what this is like. We're changing the industry. So what's going to change this year? Maybe inflation, recession, interest rates, politically, I don't know, right? We could drive ourselves crazy thinking about AI and ChatGPT and living in the metaverse. But I like to focus on the opposite end. What's not going to change? Because seniors aging and needing care never goes away, no matter what the interest rates are, no matter what the economy looks like, right? Raise your hand if you're getting older or know someone who is. If you don't, now you have to write us in the chat and tell us your anti-aging secrets. But I mean, you guys get the point, right? This is inevitable. We're all going to deal with it one way or another, right? And our company's motto is to do good and do well. Because the reality is, just like Anish said in the beginning, you can make money, especially in real estate, so many different ways, right? There's a million ways that you can make money, but is the way you're making money also leaving an impact, also helping people, also leaving a legacy? Well, this might be that opportunity for you if that's what you're looking for. For us, our journey began with a phone call. My grandmother fell and she broke her hip, and the doctor called and said she can't go home alone. She needs 24/7 care and help with activities of daily living. Who's coming to get her? And my family was faced with that situation. Some of you on the call right now, and you don't have to let me know in the chat because I know it's a personal thing, but you may have a loved one, a mom or dad, grandma or grandpa, who this happened to you. You know, my grandmother, she was mother to 7, grandmother to 40 grandkids, took care of her own husband until, you know, his last days, her own mother until her last days. She deserved the best of the best. She was living in upstate New York at the time, and we searched and searched and searched for something suitable for her. And you guys, most of these places, I didn't want to leave my goldfish, let alone my beloved grandmother there. Okay. They stunk. They were expensive. They had waiting lists, and the care was subpar. And that's not okay. That's not acceptable. So we vowed to find something better. We lived in Arizona at the time. And so we searched in Arizona, and we kind of stumbled into residential assisted living. And we purchased our first home and business with the intent to move my grandmother in. She passed on before we could get her in, but that's really the start of why we got into this business. And I always say, I guarantee you're going to get involved in senior housing one way or another, because the reality is either you are eventually going to be lying in the bed or writing the check for someone who is, or you could be owning the real estate and or the business, cash flowing, having a place if your grandparents, parents, if you ever need it. So it will affect all of us in one way or another. I guarantee it. Tonight, I want to share with you guys the 5 keys to success in residential assisted living, as well as for all of my passive friends on the line today, those of you who like to passively invest, we'll talk about how you can become a preferred real estate provider. And we'll go through that in just a moment. Who am I and why should you listen to me? I got a beautiful introduction right there. I'm the COO of Residential Assisted Living Academy. I was named top senior housing influencer under 30. I own and operate 3 care homes with my family here in Arizona. I was named Future Leader by Senior Housing News. I'm the Amazon bestselling author of Living Legacy and the host of the Young Boss podcast. For the last 8 or 9 years, I worked behind the scenes with my father building all of these companies. And I absolutely loved working with him. He was my best friend, my, mentor, the best boss ever. And he was incredible, featured in magazines, newspapers, TV shows, books, podcasts, all about the subject of senior housing. But what meant the most to me was when Robert Kiyosaki pointed at him from across the room and said, "Hey, that's the RAL guy." And he ran over to my dad and he said, "Gene, tell me everything." He said, "I see what's happening. I see where the money's going, and I want to get involved. I want to start investing." Now, we all know Robert, right? Author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the Little Purple Book, all about getting out of the rat race. And he saw what was coming, the senior housing crisis and or opportunity. And he invested over $100 million, you guys, in a big box facility down the road from me in Scottsdale, Arizona. Now, you do not have to invest $100 million to get started in this. That's how he wanted to play. But we're here to talk about you. So how much do you need every single month to cover your monthly personal expenses? The house, the car, the kids, the food, the fun, all in. If you had a check coming in every single month and it had this dollar amount written on it, you could woosah, right? Take that deep breath, spend time with who you want, donate to what you want, buy what you want, quit what you want, right? Get that number in your head. Now, most people in most parts of the country, because I'm blessed to speak on this topic about 33 weeks a year. I'm traveling. Typically, I'd be there with you guys in person, but the number one response I get is $10,000. $10,000 a month could just give you that deep breath. Now, if your number is more than this, that's a-okay, because just one residential assisted living home can get you to that number. So if you need 2 times this, 3 times this, we're talking about 1, 2, or 3 properties. That is it. Not thousands of doors, not hundreds of units, literally 1, 2, or 3 properties. So this can get you to that freedom number, but why would you want to get involved in senior housing? Well, maybe you're starting to understand the demographics, right? Especially in Florida, you guys are able to very clearly see that this is a 20-year wave starting right now, right? There's going to be a huge transfer of wealth from the baby boomers to Gen X and millennials, but that's what money's left over after the pit stop, assisted living. You know, it's also inevitable. You're going to get involved one way or another, but right now you have the choice. You have the chance to choose how you get involved. And in the future, it may be like my family situation where we didn't have that choice, you guys. I'm not sure if you know this, but like everyone's getting involved in this. Meg the Stallion just last year went back to Texas Southern University to learn how to open an assisted living home. Why is a rapper getting involved in senior housing? You tell me. Tracy Tudor was, you guys may know her from Bravo's $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. She was at our national convention last year talking about the trends she's seeing in the luxury real estate market out in LA, right? She's seeing people starting to invest in this and talking about this. And she said, I want to know more. I want to learn more. This is an industry that intrigues me. Pretty cool. Tyler Perry launched a TV show called Assisted Living, you guys. He's bringing it to mainstream media. It's kind of like a new age Golden Girls, right? And Jimmy Buffett, he's opening Margaritaville themed retirement communities, and he started in Florida. So that's pretty cool. I'm not even the biggest Jimmy Buffett fan, but heck yeah, I want to live in paradise with Jimmy. I don't know about you, but margaritas until my last day, sign me up, right? Now, when we talk about the different options for single family home investing, obviously you can do a fix and flip, right? You buy a home, you renovate it, you sell it. And as soon as you sell it, you got to get another one because you're out of the job, right? And yeah, you're making that money, but this isn't cash flow. This is cash now. So that looks like a rat race to me. Now, single family rentals, that will get you a couple $100 a month on each property. It is cash flow, but it's going to take a lot of doors to get you to your freedom number. And I'm not sure how many properties you're looking to own because each property comes with tenants and toilets and potentially unpaid rent and drama. And, you know, it just becomes a lot. Group homes. Maybe some of you on the line have a heart for those who have clean, sober recovery needs, right? Group homes are an amazing way to serve an underserved population and cash flow $1,000 a month or more. Airbnbs. If you follow me on social media, you might think I hate Airbnbs. I do not. I stand them. Okay. I think they're pretty amazing, but with a lot of cities like Atlanta, San Diego, Nashville, pretty much putting in rules that basically make it impossible for the owners to make any cash flow on them, for them to own more than one of these, to have X amount of people stay there. It's just not very business owner friendly. Plus, we have companies coming in like Marriott, buying up entire neighborhoods, turning them into Airbnbs. Do you guys think they have more money, power, and resources than the solopreneur like you or I? I'm pretty sure they could get cleaning staff like that. I'm not sure if it's the safest place to invest right now. Owning and operating a residential assisted living home, $10K a month. If I had one single family home and I had to decide what to do with it, to me, it makes a whole lot of sense to choose RAL, but it's got to be up to you. Proverbs says, he who doesn't look ahead remains behind. And if you're not religious, Wayne Gretzky says, I like to skate where the puck is going, not where it's been. You guys, the silver tsunami is either going to be one of the biggest crises that our country, our world, your community, possibly your family ever faces, or it could be one of the biggest opportunities that's ever landed in your lap. If someone handed us a crystal ball in 2008 or even in 2020, might we have played differently? I mean, I know I would have. This is that opportunity. You're literally able to see what's coming, see what's ahead, follow the money, know the opportunity. It's right in front of you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I would never put my loved one in a care home. I'm going to get them in-home care, where a caregiver will come into my loved one's home and take care of them one-on-one. Well, the national average cost to have one-on-one in-home care is $27 an hour. So if your loved one needs 24/7 care at $27 an hour times 30 days in a month, that's $19,000 a month for just the care. Plus the mortgage and lease, the cable, the food, medication, activities, electric, you name it. We're talking $25,000 a month to keep your loved one at home. And I know you're probably thinking, well, I don't need 24/7 care. I'll take nights and weekends. I just need them to watch them while I'm at work. Okay. If you've ever hung out with a senior who needs 24/7 care, it's a 24/7 job for you. You are now the caregiver, right? Because this isn't, hey, mom, jump in the car, we're going to Johnny's soccer game. It's painful for them to get up out of bed and get to the kitchen, let alone get in the car, walk 200 yards to the bleachers, sit for 2 hours, get back in the car, do this whole thing. It's not happening. Say goodbye to coming to live, BPM events. Say goodbye to wine club, book club, poker night, church, whatever it is that you go to. When you're taking care of someone who needs 24/7 care, it's a full-time gig for you. So the average cost of assisted living in our country today is $4,500 per month per person all in. And that's actually a lot more reasonable when we compare them. But what is residential assisted living? Simply, it's a group home for seniors that provides assistance with the residents' activities of daily living, or more commonly referred to as ADLs. Basically, everything we do from the moment we get up out of bed to the moment we go to bed at night, including brushing our hair, brushing our teeth, taking medication, eating, going to the bathroom, showering, walking, standing, sitting, all those things, everything that you do. It is not a commercial facility, a big box, a Brookdale, Sunrise, Atrium, right? These are not what we're talking about, not what we do, right? We're also not talking about the opposite end of the spectrum. Golden girls, 4 mature women living in a home who need minor help with landscaping or changing a light bulb. This is called independent living, not assisted, okay? When we're talking about assisted living, residential assisted living, it's a single family home in a regular single family neighborhood. Can you tell these homes are in Arizona, right? But it's typically one story. You can definitely do multiple levels. You add in a chairlift or an elevator, but they're usually in great areas with great appreciation. Nice, big, large homes in really upscale parts of town. Inside the homes, the floors are smooth and clean. The furniture is age appropriate. It's not IKEA, okay? Because you've got to be able to put a lot of weight on that chair and not have it slip out, right? Grandma needs to be safe. So age appropriate, nice, dense, heavy furniture. Inside the bedrooms, there's beds and dressers, nightstands and tables, TVs, just like you or I may have. And in the bathrooms, they're senior safe with ramps and guardrails, handrails, different tools to keep it senior safe. Doesn't have to be fully ADA compliant, but you want it as close to that as possible. Who's living in the home? None other than our adorable seniors just living out their golden years. And as 4th of July is approaching us, I love to share this photo because look at the caregiver, you guys, sitting, enjoying the celebration, the meal with the residents. For those of you who have senior loved ones in a big box community, you know that this scene is never something that you would see there, unfortunately. And in our homes, this is able to happen all the time because in the big facilities, the ratio is typically 30 seniors to 1 caregiver. And in our homes, it's 4 to 1 or 5 to 1. So the quality of care, the interaction, the seniors in our home, they're not a number. We know them by name. We know their stories. We know their loved ones who passed on. We know their kids who are coming on Tuesday. We know their favorite color and what they used to do and where they grew up because we have the time and the ability to interact. And so I love sharing this because I think a lot of people have misconceptions about what assisted living has to look like. And it really doesn't have to be a big commercial facility that's impersonal. It can be this personal touch. We celebrate everything in the home from Valentine's, Easter, Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, you name it, we are going hard because these seniors deserve the best of the best in their last years of life. And I'm going to keep coming back to this because we are going to get into the money. I promise. But I want to ask you guys, In every other form of real estate you've ever been in, right? Have you ever had a tenant who wrote you, their monthly rent check? For us, it's, $6,000, $7,000 a month, and it was wrapped in a love letter when they gave it to you. Has anyone had that? I mean, I've never heard of tenants who are, writing their monthly checks and wrapping them in a love letter. I'm not seeing anything in the chat yet. So my guess is probably not, right? But in residential assisted living, you guys, we're getting these all of the time. Thank yous. This is amazing. I'm grateful. I'm happy to pay this every month because my mom's getting the best of the best care. It makes you feel really good about what you're doing. But the question is, what do you want? Do you want to be, feeling good about your investments and proud of the work that you do? Do you want to have enough income to live the life you've dreamed of, to stop settling, stop working overtime for not enough pay? Or maybe you're in the phase of life where it's about significance, leaving a legacy, growing true appreciating assets. You can leave wealth to your children. When we think about what everybody else is doing, right? I'm sure almost everyone on the call falls into one or more of these categories. And when we're in a big room together and we can all interact, I'll usually have you guys raise your hand, like, who's in wholesale? And then you guys look around and we're like, okay, that's your competition, right? Who's got rental homes? And we go around the list. And then I say, who's in assisted living? And maybe one or two other people raise their hand, but really not many. And that's the thing I want to be very honest with you guys about tonight. This is not the easiest thing to get into. There's no HGTV show about this. There's not hundreds of 18-year-olds every single day trying to join this industry thinking they can do it. It's not like that. This is something where there's licensing, there's rules, there's regulations, there's staffing. It's really important that you go about this in the right way if you're truly going to enter this industry. I'm okay that there's rules and regs, and you should be okay with it too, because these are people's lives. We want to make sure that it's not riffraff being able to get into this industry. It's truly people who care, who are willing to get through the roadblocks. The facts and statistics are there's 76 million baby boomers, 10,000 people a day turning 65, 4,000 people a day turning 85. 90% of seniors want to stay in their own homes, you guys, but 70% are going to need daily care for an average of 3.5 years. My crystal ball says they're going to need home and assistance, and this is a great way to get involved. But I'm not the only one who thinks it. Harry S. Dent, the New York Times bestselling author, The Demographic Cliff, said the opportunity of our lifetimes in real estate development and investing is likely to be in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. I want you guys to hear from him himself.
Yeah, so what Jane's in charge of is this organization called Residential Assisted Living. In your opinion, is that the best real estate play to be in?
It is, because I always tell people, because
Robert,
the baby boom was so large, everything they do as they age is the best sector. People say millennials, there's more millennials. Well, they're not as big a wave. They're a fraction of the wave. So what assisted living and nursing homes do, they play the last stage of the baby boomers, the largest generation in history, and nobody sees it coming. Nobody.
No, we do.
You do. Nobody sees. I bring this up and people say, Harry, what are you smoking? There's the baby boomers already retired. They're already in assisted living. No, they're just starting.
Yeah.
In 2018.
Oh, yeah.
They got 26, 28 years of nonstop growth.
Yeah.
Nothing will grow faster and nobody will see it coming.
Pretty cool, right? To see them sitting around talking about that. We've got Harry S. Dent, Robert Kiyosaki, my father, the late Gene Garino. You may recognize Jonathan Goldsmith, the world's most interesting man from those Dos Equis commercials back in the day. Him and my dad were great friends. And then Brad Upton. If you like clean comedy, he's on Comedy Central and he's absolutely hilarious. This was at our national convention a couple of years back, but I wanted to share that with you guys so you could see what others are seeing ahead. Right about now, I'm pretty sure some myths or misconceptions are popping up in your mind, like, am I going to have to work in the home? And the answer is no, I do not work in my homes and you do not have to work in yours. That's not what we teach or train you to do at all. You're going to hire the licensed administrator who will then be responsible for hiring, training, retaining your licensed caregivers. They are the ones who are working in the home on a day-to-day basis. I want to show you how to work on the business, not in the business. So you can be like me, visiting the home every other month and spending about an hour or two a week on the phone with the manager. Okay. The liability, isn't it going to be through the roof? Well, no, it's about $1 or $2 per day per resident. It's truly a line item at best, but you do need to have it. It's good for you to have. It not only does protect you, your residents, and your caregivers. So it's really important that you have it. You're protected, you're safe, but it's nothing to be afraid of. It's a line item. You pay it every month and you move on. You can't find good employees these days, right? There's high turnover in this industry. Ooh, these are fighting words, you guys. Did you know when surveyed during the Great Resignation, 70% of people who lost their job, or not lost their jobs, quit their jobs, said they did not quit for more money. They quit because they did not feel appreciated. That tells us everything. Our work culture and environment in America today is not very nice to the people who are doing all of the labor and work. A lot of caregivers I speak to, when I say thank you to them, they're like, no one's told me thank you in like 5 years. Thank you? You guys, appreciation goes a long way. Thank you goes a long way. Being kind and respectful to your staff goes a long way, right? Treating people with dignity. So in our training, we focus heavily on how to find, train, and retain the best of the best caregivers, because in our, students' world, we are very proud to say that they do not have high turnover, right? One of our students, Deidre, out in Connecticut, she's had her homes open for 2 years, and in 2 years, not one of her caregivers has left her. Boom. That's telling you right then and there where people are saying, I can't keep a caregiver. Maybe there's something wrong with management, right? We got to dig deeper. Do you need medical experience? You do not, but if you are a medical professional, a doctor or a nurse, this is an amazing thing that you can use for marketing, right? It's a feather in your cap to have a home that's doctor owned, nurse owned. That's amazing for you. So I want to show you how to utilize that, but you do not need medical experience because you're not working in the home. You're not caring for the seniors. And HOA won't let me do this. Just not true, okay? Because of the Federal Fair Housing Act, it's discriminatory against disabled people. By the time you need help with 3 to 5 ADLs, you're considered disabled, right? So I'm not saying all old people are disabled. I'm saying the ones who need assisted living, that's why they're moving into assisted living. It's not for funsies, you guys. They're moving in because they need this. So they cannot discriminate against you, right? This is not a business in a household. That's not what this is. It's a home for the elderly. We also created the RAL National Association, which protects all 30,000 of these care homes across the country. So if you run into an issue, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters, RALNA, because we have lawyers who can help you work with any HOA, city, county, state, neighborhood, you name it, because it's a federal law and you will win every single time. Seniors can't afford this. Just not true. I'm going to show you exactly how they do. At the end of the day, this is just a different opportunity for single family home investment. It's literally just like what you do with most of your other single family home investments. So what are the 3 smartest options for you to participate in RAL? Well, first, you could own the real estate and lease it to an operator. This is what we call being a preferred real estate provider. You could get twice the fair market rent. Ooh, how do we do this? Well, you buy a home, you renovate it, you get it ready to go for assisted living, maybe even get the physical home license, and then you're going to lease it out to an operator, someone who's going to operate the business within your home. They're willing to pay you for the work you've done, getting the home set up, getting it ready to go, and letting them run their business in your home, basically. So that's a great way to cash flow more on some properties that you may already have in your arsenal. Number 2, they're a long-term tenant. What I mean by that is it's not a single family who's renting, a home for 1 or 2 years from you. This is a business. They're trying to establish roots. They're trying to build a brand and a reputation. They're going to want to sign a 3, 5, 8, or 10-year contract with you to lock it in. They don't want to be thrown out of that location anytime soon. So you don't have to worry about high turnover and filling that property whenever they want to leave. They're going to be there for a while. Next, they're a low impact tenant that requires little or no maintenance. What I mean by that is there's no teenagers punching holes in the wall. There's no pit bulls being bred in the living room or motorcycles being dissected in the dining room. You guys have seen the terror stories, I know. That's not happening. The worst that happens is Grammy's little chair goes back and forth one too many times and there's a little, patch in the wall, okay? It's seriously kept pristine and clean at all times because you're touring people, new residents and families, and your caregivers who are awake at night. That's most of the time what they're doing, cleaning the home. So it's always looking fresh. Depending on how you set up the contract, you shouldn't be in charge of the maintenance at all. The second way you can get involved is to own the real estate and operate the REL business. This is what we do, what most of our students do. It's how you make the most money and control it all. Now, in a moment, when I go through the numbers with you, this will be the category that I'm referring to. Okay, number 2. Now, number 3 is being a JV lender or a JV partner or private lender. If you're sitting on this call and you've got deep pockets, but you're like, I don't want to own the real estate, I don't want to operate the business, but I would love to invest in someone who's going to do that. That's a great way for you to get involved. If you're an accredited investor, I'm sure other people even on this call would love to work with you in that regard. So let's get into it. It's only been 30 minutes. I'm sorry I took so long, but how much money can you make? Woohoo! Well, first we have to ask, how much does assisted living cost? I know we have people coming in from all over the world and country tonight, but most of you invest in Florida. I'm sure you also invest elsewhere. So I wanted to give this to you. This website, genworth.com/cost of care. Take a screenshot, jot it down, write this one down, save it for later because you're going to want to go to this website. When you go there, you're going to type in where you live or where your loved one lives, and it's going to show you the average rates of assisted living in your area. The reason I love this website is there's a toggle button. So my mom's not going to need assisted living for another 25 years. So I can bump that little baby up and see how much it's going to cost in 25 years. Y'all, the cost of care has gone up 79% over the last 10 years. Do we think it's going to keep going up with almost double the increase and already a lack of beds? Oh, yes. Now on genworth.com/cost of care, you'll find every state and every city, major city in those states, all listed there for you. And really, this is the column we're looking at, the furthest, I think it's right-hand column on your screens. And that's how much the state is saying is the average in that area. So you'll go there, you'll find out your state average. But I wanted to talk to you not only about the US, but also Florida. So we'll get into that. So what are the top 10 most expensive places for assisted living in our country? Well, DC is at the tippy top. I'm not surprised. I'm sure you're not either. $6,978 on average per month per person. Alaska, $6,830. We've got Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Jersey. I think there was someone on the line from Massachusetts tonight. New Hampshire, Washington, Delaware, Maine, Hawaii, and Connecticut. These are the top 10 most expensive. And I want you to remember this, guys. These are the average rates. And remember what I said about putting my grandmother in an average home? I didn't want to leave my goldfish, let alone my grandmother there. You probably aren't going to want to live in an average assisted living home, and you're probably not going to want to leave your loved one there either. So more than likely, you're going to be doing something above average. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment. Florida, your state average is about $4,000 a month. Naples is apparently the most expensive as of these most recent numbers at $5,300. Then the Villages, Panama City, Crestview, Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Miami's at $4,385, Cape Coral, Lakeland, and then Gainesville. I want you to hear me loud and clear with this, you guys. This does not mean if you love mom, you move her to Naples. And if mom didn't love you, you move her to Gainesville. No. Okay. If you live in Tallahassee, mom's probably coming to Tallahassee because you're the adult child who's used to paying those cost of living rates in that area. So it's important to know that it's not that we have to go to the most expensive areas. Miami's got great rates right there, but it's important to know that whatever the cost of living is there is what people are used to paying. If you had one REL home providing you an additional $10,000 a month, would you be more confident and secure knowing you could pay your bills easily and stay in control financially? Would you be more comfortable knowing that you could provide a home for your loved ones if they ever needed assistance? Or would you be more fulfilled knowing you're making a difference and leaving your mark on this world? I know for me, REL is like tick, tick, tick. And I hope if you're still on with me tonight, you're feeling that same way. It's starting to strike a chord within you, right? So how can one home set you free? Let's get into the numbers. If our national average is $4,500 per month per person, and depending on where we are in the country, we're going to be allowed to have somewhere between 6 and 16 residents in the home. We'll use 10 in this first example for easy math. That's bringing us in $45,000 a month of monthly gross income. But of course, there's expenses. And in our training, we go through the high and the low end of all of these expenses, so you know exactly what to expect in your home. But for the sake of me whipping through this today, we're going to focus on the two numbers at bottom, okay? 20,000 and 30,000. 20,000 is if you plan to be the candlestick maker, the cook and the baker. You're going to live in the home. You're going to wipe the seniors' bums. You're going to do all of the work. You're going to do it all. That's not what we do. And that's not what I show you how to do. Okay. I'm not saying it's wrong. You can do whatever you want, but I want to show you how to run this as a hands-off professional business owner. So we'll use the $30,000 number because this allows you to be able to afford to hire licensed staff to take care of all the care needs for you. Now let's bake that in. In most parts of the country, can we still get a pretty nice home for $5,000 a month? I think so in most parts of the country. That's leaving us with $10,000 of monthly net income or $120,000 of annual net income. Pretty cool, you guys. Now, I know in the state of Florida, you guys are allowed to have 12 beds total. That does not mean that your county that you're in allows 12 beds. Sometimes they say 6 or 8, but then you have to apply for a variance or add sprinklers, all things to learn. Your state says 12 in a home. So if we were to use your state average of $4,000 a month times 12, bringing us in $48,000, our overhead, we're going to increase it a little bit because we have 2 more residents, right? So more food, more care, more electricity, more cable, you name it. Our debt service, I'm going to put it pretty high at $8,000 a month because real estate can be pretty expensive in certain parts of Florida. So I baked in a nice debt service for you there. That's leaving you with $8,000 every single month or $96,000 a year on one average REL home. But I told you we don't do average here, okay? So we're going to go nicer and use our 10 for easy math. So let's say we were to do $5,700 times 10 residents, bringing in $57,000 every month. It's the same overhead because it's the same 10 residents. Our debt service is still high. That's leaving us with $20,000 of monthly net income and $240,000 of annual net income. Our students, Scott and Michelle, they're in Metairie, Louisiana, right outside of New Orleans. These are their numbers. You guys, I did not stutter. I said Louisiana. If they can do it there, y'all can do it in Florida, okay? Now, I want to look at something bigger, luxurious, amazing, spectacular, okay? Our student Brian in New Jersey, some of you may invest in states like Indiana, Ohio, New Jersey, Illinois, Texas, and those states you're allowed to have 15 or 16 residents in the home. So these are Brian's numbers. He's charging $7,000 in a luxury home for 15 people, bringing in $105,000 every single month. His overhead is about $50,000 because there's 5 more residents. So we baked in again for more food, cable, electricity, care, you name it, but also it's a luxury home. If they want lobster and cheesecake every night, we're giving it to them. Whatever they want, they get. Okay. Debt service on a 15-bedroom home, it's going to cost us a pretty penny. I put in $15,000 a month. That's leaving him with $40,000 of monthly net income and $480,000 of annual net income. You guys, some people are making $40,000 a year. Our students are making it a month. I hope this is getting you like excited a little bit. I hope you're like, I'm glad I stayed on tonight because this is amazing. This is incredible to see. And the thing I want you to know is that in our training, we don't just show you how to do this once. We actually encourage you to have a 3-pack, 3 homes within 20 minutes of each other so that you can share your resources. You see, if you're going to do this, why not really do it? And also, if you're going to do it, your caregivers are probably going to be doing shift work, working 8 or 12-hour shifts. So they're kind of like a nurse. They might be on for 3 days, off for 4, or vice versa. Well, if they do that, they're not off for the other 3 or 4 days. They're working in another home down the road. But if you have multiple homes, they'll work for you 3 or 4 days here and 3 or 4 days there. They get to stay in the same work culture and environment, and you don't have to pay overtime. It's a great way to maximize your resources. Now, I wanted to go through some quick examples that I found last night on Zillow. So do not judge me on these. Literally, I found them last night. So we'll see. This home, it kind of already looks like an assisted living home. It's an 8-bed, 7-bath, which really could work for 12 residents with a couple of shared bedrooms, right? It's in Port St. Lucie, which I know is a little bit far from you guys, but this home already kind of looks like it might be a care home with 12 residents at $5,000 a month in this home, since it would probably be a level 3, level 4. I'll go through the levels with you in just a moment. That means we'd be bringing in about $60,000 a month. Okay, our expenses would sit right around 32 with the 12 residents and the mortgage about $10,000 on this property. That leaves us with $18,000 net on this home. The location's pretty good. It's got the bathrooms. If you would want to add 2 or 3 more bedrooms, you could, but I mean, it's pretty good as is. This home I found we would definitely need to add on some square footage. This is my rule of thumb, 300 to 500 square feet per resident, okay, per resident. So this is a 5.4, but it's 5,800 square feet. So I have a feeling they're not maximizing the space as well as they could be. It's also a foreclosure. So we could probably get a good deal on this. Now, if you were to add on maybe 2,000 square feet, the backyard's really big, so you could definitely do a big addition or chop it up a little bit differently and add in maybe 5 more bedrooms, 5 more bathrooms, making it a 10 bed, 9 bath, perfect for 12 residents. You know, this probably could be a level 4, level 5 home. It's pretty fancy on the inside, even though it's a foreclosure. And I bet you it would be bringing in about $7,000 per resident. So 7,000 times 12, 84,000 minus our 32 in expenses and about 6K in mortgage. This home could cash flow you 40K a month. Wow, 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 wow. This is pretty exciting, you guys. So these are out there. And the other thing for you to consider is that there's 4 ways to get into this. You could buy land and build a custom home from the ground up. You could lease a home to use for this. You could buy and renovate a single family home like we've been talking about here, or you could buy an existing home and business. You're up and running, cash flowing day one. You guys, there's over 3,000 of these homes in your state. You, unlike a lot of other people I get to speak to, do not have, right? Most of the people don't have that. They maybe have 1 in their area. So you have plenty of opportunity to potentially buy something that's already up and running. They've saved you a lot of the work. You're going to pay for speed with that. But there are also great opportunities with large homes on large lots that you could make it happen. Now, I'm not saying to go buy either of those. I'm just saying quick, that's what I found doing quick math and the local rates in the area. It seemed like, hey, these 2 could work with 10 minutes of research, right? Now, let's go through the 5 keys to success in REL. I'm going to share with you the deal I brought tonight, and then we'll get into the Q&A. Number 1 is location. This is key when it comes to REL, and let's be real, all of real estate. When it comes to REL, we focus on density, demand, and demographics. This is not, if you build it, they will come. It's not the field of dreams, okay? You have to make sure that it has the property density and demand. How many other beds exist? Are they full? Are they empty? What rates are they charging? What amenities do they have? And then the demographics. Who lives around that area? When I say 50 to 70-year-olds who are upper middle class, who are homeowners, who make twice the median income, that sounds like the whole state of Florida to me, but you may be able to quickly identify, boom, 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 these are the couple areas that I would love to target and focus on, because that is the key demographic. If you don't know the demographics, type in the zip code or area code or whatever it is, and then type demographics. Google will literally tell you on a website like city-data or movoto.com. When we talk about the 5 levels, I want us to focus on the sweet spot. Level 1 is the part of town that you don't want to get out of your car at night, right? You're not going there without a gun. Ladies, you're definitely not going without a buddy. We do not need to do a care home in a level 1 area, okay? But you do not need to focus on the level 5 areas, the extremely spectacular, high-end, nicest part of town, right? With boats outside. That's not what we need to focus on. We need to be in the sweet spot, the level 3, 4. Financially, that looks like this. Using our national average of $4,500 a month, if the home is charging less than that, it's a below average home. That makes sense. So level 3, 4, that's our sweet spot between that $4,500 and $8,000 a month. Now with Florida, again, your average rate was about $4,000. So you might redo this chart, but Miami's was higher at I think 53. It was about that. So again, you can adjust this chart, but you get the point. We want to stay in the sweet spot. We don't want to go below average, but we don't need to be at the tippy top, because I know 8 to 10,000 per person. Ooh, sign me up. But look at the shape of the chart. It gets smaller at the top. And so it's important for you to know that we want to be in a demographic where there's a lot of seniors for us to serve. We taught this to Donald and to Linda Kelly when they came through our 3-day fast track training. And they said, thank you to the REL Academy. It's been amazing, the support we've received from you guys. We wouldn't have been able to make this journey without you. Before they came to class, I sent them the foundations course. These are videos that get you in the right headset, heart set, mindset. So when you come to class, you're ready to soak it in. You're ready to like jump and move forward and take the information. You're not struggling to say, what are these terms? What does this mean? The foundations course lays the foundations before you come to the training. Number 2 is your team. Okay. In most other real estate ventures, being a solopreneur, doing it all on your own is cool and you can make it happen. But with REL, you are not it. You have to build your team and then repeat and scale. The only reason I'm able to be as hands-off as I am is because of this incredible woman right here, Mariella. She runs the homes on a day-to-day basis. One person overseeing 3 homes. It's typically full-time for a manager to oversee 2 to 4 homes. So she's got 3 of mine under her watch, right? And she hires and fires the caregiver. She trains them. She helps retain them. She does my marketing. She does tours with the families, welcomes the new residents in, takes care of payroll. You name it, she does it so that I can focus on the business, right? And she can be doing all the day-to-day, working on the business, not in it. That's what I want to show you how to do. Dean, one of our students out in Georgia, he said, I never thought I would own an REL, but I had to make a plan for my partner and myself. We're now cash flowing like we never imagined, living a legacy or leaving a legacy for our children and having a lot of fun in the meantime. Absolutely amazing. I love watching our students be able to take the information in the course and make it happen. Go out there and be successful. Number 3 is clients, okay? The kids are the key. Remember that. So who really is your client? Well, I kind of just gave it away, and I may have said her name here today. It's not grandma, grandpa who's living in the home. It's daughter Judy. It's son Bob. It's typically the adult child, right, who chooses where mom or dad's going to live. They decide mom or dad needs to go in a home and starts doing that research. They tour the homes. They pay for the homes sometimes. They complain about the homes and or write you that love letter, which is what we want to be receiving for them. So over communicating with daughter Judy is key. Making sure she feels confident and comfortable and with her loved one in your home is everything. That's what this is all about at the end of the day. So it's not just the senior. We've got to remember the nucleus family right around her. Ogita, out in Florida, she did our online home study course, and she said, thank you to Rolla, my family's opened 4 homes since we took your course. She ran up to my dad at the national convention and she's like, Jean, we opened 4 homes. Absolutely amazing, you guys. We have students in all 50 states and a ton in Florida, and Ogita is one of them just from the online home study course. Mitch and Jen, they're out in Colorado, and I love this. Their vision's to open 100 luxury REL homes, build a great reputation for REL in their community. They're excited to be at the right place at the right time. Y'all, they are on home number 26. 26. Can you believe it? Imagine if you had 1 home cash flowing like this, let alone 3, let alone 26. You know, when they came to class, before they came, we gave them the profitability calculator. It's a super fun tool that you can plug and play, and you can see all the numbers. So when you find a deal, you can plug it in and see, should I even move forward with this? Is this a good deal? What's going on? What if I paid less on the mortgage, or paid my caregivers more, charged my residents less, did this for food? Everything you can do the numbers, and it's like pops out, good deal, bad deal, walk away, buy it. You know, it's amazing, that profitability calculator. Okay. When we talk about getting paid, I told you we're going to go over how seniors pay for this. And I want you to not focus on Medicaid, focus on private pay residents and maximize LTC insurance. So how do seniors pay for this? Well, of course, some pay with Medicare. If they have served even 1 day in active duty, they may be able to qualify for aid and attendance, which is subsidized by the VA. Some people have LTC, or long-term care insurance. That's an amazing way to pay for your care needs. If you have it, that's awesome. And if you don't, probably you should get it. If not, you'll be using your cash, IRAs, savings, your investments, your physical home. You'll have to sell and use that capital to pay for your care needs. Or of course, there's my last category of seniors who say, I'm going to let my kids figure it out. I took care of them. It's their turn to take care of me. You know, if you're on this call tonight and you are the wealthy one in your family and you've never had that conversation or thought about what happens when mom or dad needs care, and if you're married, maybe in-laws, and maybe it's 2 parents or 4 parents, maybe it's 8 parents. I don't know your situation, but failing to prepare means preparing to fail, right? So this is one of those situations where you should probably start having that conversation with your family members before it becomes that crisis, because opening a care home might crawl to the top of your list pretty quick if you haven't had those combos. Now, Walt was an absolute legend when we met him. He owned a gorgeous 10-bath home in Scottsdale, Arizona. And when we met him, he'd been in the biz for over 15 years. And we were like, Walt, you know everything. Can you come to our training and basically tell us what we're missing, what we're screwing up? Like, you know so much. And he said, actually, I learned how I was leaving over $15,000 a month on the table, over $2 million during those 15 years. I was sick to my stomach, but grateful to find out too. So if you're on this call tonight and you own a care home, or one of your friends, someone you know owns a care home, and they're not cash flowing the way I've been talking about here tonight, maybe there's something left to be learned. Maybe you coming to the training and learning those next steps and what to do could be beneficial for you. I don't know, only you do, right? Number 5 is systems. Saving yourself time, energy, and money. You guys, if you're type A like me, systems are critical for success. When it comes to team building, we've got to identify, train, and retain the best of the best people. I've said this like 3 or 4 times now because it's vital. If you want to be hands-off, we have to make sure that the team is trained. When it comes to the real estate side, you guys are pros at this. Location, acquisition, renovation. It's just, what are the minor differences between what you already do and what's happening in RAL? And when we show you those, it's going to be a simple transition for you. When it comes to funding, I want to show you the 7 ways to fund your RAL, because rest assured, you do not have to use your own money. As Robert Kiyosaki says, you're being lazy if you use your own money. And he yells, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you, but you know what I mean. You do not have to use your own money. If that's what's holding you up in your head, is this is going to be expensive. Well, it's not your money. You know how many people are getting 0% on their money right now? And if you could offer them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12%, which I'll show you how to do, would want to invest with you. You guys, the numbers are there, the statistics are there. It's pretty simple to get raising capital for this, but we'll go through that later. When it comes to partners, some of you have always wanted to work with someone in your life. Maybe they're a medical professional and you're the real estate guru, and this is the perfect blending for that. This could be that opportunity to work with someone, whether it's someone in your family, a husband, wife, aunt, uncle, father, son, whatever it is. I encourage you guys to come to the training together. When it comes to the operations, think of these as the documents that you need to get licensed in the home, right? Licensed through the state. You're going to need policies and procedures, emergency plans, menus and schedules, all sorts of different things so that you can get that stamp of approval. There's a lot of different documentation you're going to be required to get. I love this photo. I just grabbed it in February from one of our students, Parker, and his wife. Their home's out in Austin, Texas, and they were celebrating Mardi Gras. And I just thought, how cute is this, you guys? In big box facilities, again, you're just not seeing the seniors being loved on in this way, cared on in this way. Jamie, one of our students, he just opened this home in Dalton, Georgia, and he had his grand opening a couple months ago. And so I wanted to share this absolutely stunning home right there. Jeff and Carl, they've got one home in Arizona, one home in Florida, and then they just opened their care home in Brazil, you guys. Absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of them because the thing is, the baby boom did not just happen here in the US, right? It was a world war that launched that generation to be so large. So there's opportunity everywhere. I can keep going through success story after success story, but the real question is, will you be the next success story? Now, today I was able to share with you the 5 keys to success in residential assisted living, as well as the 3 smartest options to participate in RAL. I hope this gave you some ideas as to what makes the most sense to you. And for all of my passive people, I hope becoming a preferred real estate provider got you excited. We talked about how you can make $8,000, $10,000, $20,000, even $40,000 a month on one RAL home. And that's pretty amazing. At this point, you really have 3 options, right? One, you can have a Men in Black moment. Forget about everything we talked about. Keep doing what you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck. Number 2, you could say, I don't need you. I'm going to go to YouTube University and figure it out. And again, I wish you the best of luck. 3, you can say, I want to hire you and your team, and let's build the life of your dreams. Now, I'm going to present to you 2 opportunities, and then I am happy to stick around for Q&A, so feel free to hang with me. The first one is our online home study course. If you like to learn from the comfort of your own home, similar to this, we have a video-style online home study course. It comes with 11 modules and 46 sections. It's your business accelerator. It literally is teaching you all of the content that you need to know to get this home up and running. We start with RAL 101, where we go over the opportunities and the 10-step blueprint. Then we go into the definitions, how to own the real estate and lease it to an operator, how to own the business and operate your own team, how to be a private lender or JV partner, and then how to scale. When we talk about the real estate section, we have to cover the best and worst properties, local requirements, safety requirements, what you're going to need in the bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, how to renovate, remodel, or do an addition, or do a ground up build. Some of you might want to do that. When it comes to locations, we talk about choosing the best location, where, why, and how, and then how to find the best and worst demographics and that rating system in your area. The RAL business is what sets us apart. You guys, there are other people who teach a similar course to this, but they teach you to live in the home and work in the home and be extremely hands-on as the administrator. That is not what we do. Okay, if that's what you're looking to do, go to them. I want to show you how to be a hands-off business owner and cash flow on these homes while providing a great opportunity for your community. In the business section, we talk about the property, the documents, the licensing, the staffing, independent contractors and employees, and then the timeline of how long this should be taking you. We go through the funding next, terms and definitions, the capital stack, how to reposition your assets, 5 lenders, and then additional funding sources, as well as what you need in your business plan if you're looking to raise capital. When it comes to the cash flow, we go through the sources of income and then the sample expenses. This is where we go through line by line and show you what we're finding from our students all across the country, showing you what the expenses should, would, and could be. Then case studies, because I want you to see the proof in the pudding. I want you to meet our students. So case studies are so important. When it comes to purchasing an RAL, which many of you on this call, if you invest in Florida, that's a full-blown option for you. The 10 factors to consider, recasting the financials, how to expand the business, the 5 valuation methods, and then purchasing one versus starting one, the pros and cons. The marketing section's next. We go through your website, your brochure, naming the home, filling the home, and advertising and community involvement. You've got to start marketing right away, right? The operations, this is all about your team, how to take over a home and operate it, how to start one from scratch, and then the systems that you must implement to make sure you can be hands-off. Last but not least, we've been in the business for over 10 years, you guys. We've had thousands of successful students, and we created the RAL National Association. We have national marketing available for you as a student of our academy, as well as group purchasing power and discounts. So if this is sounding interesting to you, the online home study course, it's go at your own pace. It's take it from home. You can go through as many times as you want, as many times as you need. This course discounted for you all here tonight at $997, typically $1497, but we did a big bonus for you guys, a big discount. So we've got that for you. Now, I also want to go through our live training course. These are hosted in Phoenix, Arizona. They happen every 6 to 8 weeks. There was one just last weekend, but we've got one coming up July 13th through 15th, and then August 24 through 27. Again, we've got dates for the rest of the year and even into 2024 if you need that. But in this training, we're not only just covering everything we just talked about with the online home study course, but of course, we're covering more. The other educators who are there with me live in person are past students just like you. They went out, got their homes up and running, and now they're back to teach and train you, to tell you what they're seeing in the field, what they're learning in the field. We add on a staffing section, a home tour section, a memory care section. We go over syndicating your home, working with partners. We have an asset protection course that we teach you. We have a strategic marketing section where we're showing you how you can be cash flowing right as you leave class until the day you open your home, and open with a waiting list. We take you on live tours. You're going to drive by my homes and some of our students' homes in Arizona. You're going to be able to hear the stories of the purchase of the homes, the renovation of the homes, and then we watch the home tour videos of our homes and homes all across the country. It is an incredibly jam-packed training. We start on Thursday with a welcome happy hour. It's always cocktails. It's always fun. We go all day Friday, dinners included. We do a big banquet dinner. We do cigars and stars. So we're hanging out all night, smoking and drinking and having fun. And we'd love you to join us for that. It is an incredible event. Like I said, we only do them every 6 to 8 weeks, so they are limited space. And that training is really the home study course plus. It's like going to the concert or being behind the scenes, hanging out with the band in their bus, right? The live training course, typically $997. Tonight for you guys, $2,997. If you'd like to bring a business partner or spouse, it's an additional $1,000. I just have one rule, which is the BBB rule. They've got to be your partner in bed, blood, or bank account. Okay. And if you don't know what that means, Anish will tell you. But I wanted to offer those to you guys tonight. The online course $997 and the live course $297. You guys, if one RAL home got you to your freedom number, would either of those prices be worth it? Oh, all day. If one home got you a place for your loved ones, if they ever needed care for free, right? And you're cash flowing and they get to live for free, would it be worth it? I'd pay it 10 times over, right? So I want to give you guys some motivation to take action tonight. I know that there's people who'll be listening to the recording, but since you guys are here, I want to give you some extra bonuses for moving forward tonight. If you take action on the live training course, not online, only the live, I'd love to give you the foundations course as a bonus. These are those videos that Donald and Talinda use to get in the right headset, heart set, and mindset, right? They help prime you before you come to class so you know what information you're about to receive. So you're ready to take that information and go. Number two is, this is a bonus for either purchase, is the roadmap to success. The step-by-step plan that shows you how to start, own, and operate your home, so that when you're done with the training, you're able to just go through and follow the step-by-step method and actually mark them off as you're going along. Number three, and this is a bonus on either side, is the profitability calculator. This is an amazing tool that we talked about where you can just plug and play with those numbers, see if a deal is good or bad, if you should stay with it, if you should go from it. It will show you how much money you can make on a deal, how much money you can pay back your investors, all that fun stuff. This is a bonus for those of you who take action tonight. Last but not least, I want to give you a copy of my book, Living Legacy. It's my story in the REL space and how everything got passed on from my dad to me. I hope it inspires you. Being a rich dad or a rich mom is not always about wealth. It's about mindset. And I think that that's something that I was blessed to have a rich dad in that mindset way. And I'm blessed to be able to share that with other entrepreneurs and business owners, how to carry that legacy on. So that's another bonus for either purchase here tonight. In both courses, you're going to learn the best opportunity for RELs in any area, how to determine if the property is right or wrong, how to attract investors, find the right team, and fill your home quickly. I also want to show you how to do this in 3 to 6 months from today. We cannot be waiting forever for you to be cash flowing. So you guys have those bonuses for the live 3-day. You've got all 4 bonuses, $2,997, an additional $1,000 for a partner. And for the online home study course, those 3 bonuses, $997. I believe that there's a link in the chat, or I'll leave this QR code up, but I do want to get in some Q&A. So thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me babble on. All right. William asked, what about the safety and liability in a private REL home? So William, we talked about liability insurance, about $1 or $2 per day per resident. It's a line item, but you definitely want to have it. And then safety within the home, you're going to want to add in ramps and guardrails and things that make the home senior safe and friendly. Some of your counties may require fire suppression or different things of that nature. I highly do recommend that you do that anyways. So hope that helps answer that for you. Ron, what about generators and fire sprinklers in the home requirement? Pretty similar to what I just said, but basically, yes, I would definitely have a generator because y'all have storms out in Florida, so you're going to need them. And fire sprinklers would be good, whether they are required or not. I highly recommend that you do have them. Michael, do you know of companies that will run the business if I provide the home? There are not specific companies that do this that you could just call and they do it all across the country or even in your area. The company would be someone like you or someone else in this class who maybe doesn't have the funds, right? And you have the funds, you're willing to do that, and you partner with them in that way. And they're going to start that company to run the business within your home. So there's not necessarily like big, large companies that do this. It's just kind of one-off owner operators. Will caregivers live in the home as well? From Simona, great question. In this industry, live-in caregivers is popular, but I do not suggest it, okay? Because if you have to fire them, they're now homeless and jobless. Ouch. I don't like that. I prefer shift work. So you can do live-in, but I do not recommend it. Title of the book, Annie, I'm not sure if you're talking about Silver Tsunami of Seniors, if you're talking about The Demographic Cliff by Harry S. Dent, or my book, Living Legacy. Those were the 3 books that were mentioned tonight. Jeff, can this be done in residential areas? The answer is absolutely. Only is what I'm talking about. We do not do any commercial zoning. These are not commercial facilities. They are single family homes. When I say that, I don't mean a 3-bed, 2-bath. I mean a luxury upscale single family home in a regular residential neighborhood, zoned residential. Jeff, typical square foot of the bedrooms. It depends. 10 by 10 is okay. 12 by 12 is better. 14 by 14 is better. 300 to 500 square feet per resident within the home is a comfortable size of the home. Jeff also asked about the live-in caregivers, and we answered that. Does the value of the home go down when someone dies within the home? Ron, Well, this home is a licensed care home, so it will probably never become a regular single family home after. If anything, it would be bought by another assisted living operator. You'd be selling the real estate in the business, cash flowing. And if you're going to sell that business, you're probably going to be making a pretty penny, right? That's a lot of people's plan, is to build up 10 of these and then sell them off, package them up. So you'd be making a nice pretty penny, and they would probably be running another assisted living home within the home, or another type of group home. It will probably never go back to an RAL. So it does not decrease the value, because actually you're increasing the value because you're adding the business plus the home, if that makes sense. By the way, guys, I'm answering these in the Q&A, not the chat, just so you know. If you have questions, add to the Q&A. Okay, Alberto, when you say assisted living, does that not have maintenance if at the end it's like a rental home with toilets, bedrooms, bathrooms? Maintenance. So you're probably going to hire a handyman to do that. I highly encourage that you do not do this DIY, Alberto. I don't want you being the landscaper or the handyman. You're going to hire all of those different independent contractors to come in and take care of that. When the home's cash flowing 20 grand a month, you can afford a handyman, so you don't have to go in and do that. And that's what we encourage, so you can work on the business, not in it. William, how many people are allowed per bedroom? Now, your state will typically say 2 or 4, up to 4. We are going to say that most people want private bedrooms and private bathrooms. So I'm going to want you to do as many privates as you can. I know a 12 bed, 12 bath is basically non-existent on the market. Just like in Arizona, we're allowed to have 10, and a 10-10 is also non-existent. But what does exist are 6,000 square foot homes that have 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, that we can renovate to become 10-10s, that you could renovate to become 12-12s. So I'm going to encourage that you do mostly privates with 1 or 2 shared options. Okay. How many beds can you put in a 3-bed, 2-bath home, Michael? I'm going to say that's probably the wrong home for an RAL. We're not talking about a 3-bed, 2-bath if you're going to have 12 residents, because you're going to have to do either a major addition to that home, and it might not be in the right area if everyone else around is a 3-bed, 2-bath, because we're looking for that daughter Judy who's making twice the median income, 50 to 70, upper middle class. She's probably, maybe, but probably not living in a 3-2. So the demographics may be wrong. You never know. Alberto, what are you counting in debt service? Debt service would be the mortgage, and it could be interest rates, it could be renovation, it could be whatever you have in that debt service line. It could be everything included right there. What type of mortgage loan do you use for this type of business? There's a bunch of different answers to this. So it could be a whole lot of different things, but you're not going to lie and say that you are living in the home for personal use. It is an investment property. Majid, how can seniors afford these fares? Who's paying $7K a month? You would be shocked. At most rooms that I'm in, when I ask the audience, hey, what's everyone paying for their senior loved ones in care homes right now? It's pretty amazing how many people are like, I'm paying $9,000, I'm paying $6,000, I'm paying $12,000. The highest I've heard is $18,000 a month. And it was for someone who was in the Northeast and they had memory care. So this is very, very common, Majid. I'm not making up these numbers. These are the national numbers. These are what people are paying. Something that's beautiful in this industry that I love is, I showed you guys Dean, who owned a home in Georgia. He owns a level 5 home. And so he's cash flowing really well, about 30 grand a month. He also owns like a level 1 home that accepts government funding, and he uses the cash flow from this home to give this home a level 5 experience. So when you're making a lot of money, sure, you can go buy an extra home, a boat, and do whatever you want with it. You can also give back. And if you care, Majid, about low income seniors, and that's where your heart is, then I highly advise that you find a way to cash flow really, really well, like with a level 4, level 5 RAL, so that you can give back, so that you can, do that thing that your heart's calling you to do. Michael, can I assume for 12 residents at 500 square feet per resident, you would need a 6,000 square foot home? That is 500 times 12. So yes, Michael, you are correcto. Alberto, do caregivers have to be registered nurses? Every state has different rules and regs on what is required for caregivers. In Arizona, they need a 60-hour training, a 4-day in-person course, like all these different stuff. Texas, it's literally be 18, have a GED, and fog a mirror. I mean, it's low. So every state's different. Most states are not RNs. I've seen HHAs, health home aid assistant requirements, but never RN. Lorenzo, what happens when someone can no longer pay and doesn't have anywhere else to go? Great question. So when someone starts to run out of money, what usually happens is the family will come to you, right? Because when they first signed up to pay $6,000 a month, they thought mom was going to live for a year, and it's been 2.5, right? And now they're starting to run out of money. So they come to you and they say, hey, we love this home. We want to keep mom or dad here, but we can no longer afford these rates. Is there something you can do? And this is when having that shared option comes into play. When you have 1 or 2 shared bedrooms, you say, yeah, you're paying $6,000 for the private. We can go ahead and put you in the shared bedroom for $4,500 a month. Now they have to share with, Joe Schmo or whoever else is in there, but that's an option to keep them in the same home with the same environment. The family's happy, the seniors happy, everybody's happy. There's a shortage of low income housing. So if you concentrated on this set of people, would it work the same? From Annie. Well, they wouldn't be able to pay the rates to live in the home. The expenses stay the same. So that's important to remember, Annie. The cost of the real estate goes up or down depending on what level you are. If it's a level 1 home, probably the cost of real estate's a lot less than a level 5 home, but the expenses are the same. So if your income is a lot less and your expenses are still here, now you don't make any money, you lose money, right? But that's why we need these to match or be like that. So it's important to do the numbers. That profitability calculator will really be able to help you see how low you can go on those residence rates if providing low income housing is important to you. Or you can do something like Dean did out in Georgia. How do we search for RALs in our area for comparative rates? Michael, your state has a directory. Usually it's on the DHS website, and you can search and find all of the care homes in your area. Like I said, about 3,000 in Florida, or you can go to RALHomeLocator.com. When you go there, you'll be able to see most of the RALs in the entire country. So you don't just look at your state, you're looking at all of the states. William, I suggest that you consider all doorways to be ADA compliant. There must be enough area for furniture. You need sufficient space for ambulance service. Liability is a big concern. Yep, I agree. In our training, we do talk about having things as close to ADA compliant as possible. Large hallways and doorways are super key in this industry. What is the agency that regulates this business? Does the same agency issue the required license? Yes, your state will issue the license and they are the ones in charge of this. So I'm not sure exactly what agency it is in Florida. I apologize, but DHS is where you can find usually most of the information for your state rules and regulations. How much does it cost to license in Florida, Alberto? It's typically less than $1,000, usually a couple $100. And how long does it take? Even if the state tells you it's 6 months or 12 months, when you come to the training, you're going to learn how to do it a whole lot faster because that's what we show you how to do. So I'm excited to meet you there. Eric, he said, is the Phoenix seminar usually Friday to Sunday? And yes, it is always Friday to Sunday. Or actually we start on Thursday with the cocktail hour. So Thursday to Sunday. Andrea, if the purchase is from a foreclosure, do you have to disclose the group home plan? I usually disclose that we're going to do a care home in the area to anyone who needs to know. Yep. Do we need a license, Wendy? Yes, I highly recommend that you are licensed. Don't HOAs balk at this use of type? Can they deny you from owning? Jeff, I'm not sure if you were here in the beginning, but we did talk about HOAs and how they cannot tell you no because of the federal Fair Housing Act. It's a federal law that trumps any city, state, county, neighbor, or HOA. And if you run into issues, who are you going to call? RALNA, the RAL National Association. We've got lawyers there who will protect you against this. Do we offer mentoring as well as the learning modules? When you go through the online home study course, there's an area for you to ask questions. Every morning I log on and I answer those questions for you. So I'm there for you throughout that. If you want to work with me one-on-one after, we do make that available for purchase, but it's not needed. You definitely can do this after just going through the course. It's completely up to you, Elaine. Jose, will SBA provide funding? SBA loves this. We have great connections for you when you come to class. Where can we get the state guidelines? William, on your State Department website. What is the general practice for male to female ratio versus male or female homes? Interesting question, Roger. So 73% of people who live in care homes are females. What can we say, ladies? We're killing them off. There is just a whole lot more females who live longer than men. So it's a lot of women who will be living in your care home. And there doesn't need to be any specific ratio. If you want to do a men only house, a women only house, we have a home here in Arizona called Shalom Home. You don't have to be Jewish to live there, but they serve kosher food, celebrate Jewish holidays. That's pretty cool. So you could do niche homes. And that's amazing. Michael, what are the requirements for the property from the state and county? Your state website will tell you all of those different requirements, but what we teach in our training is going to be significantly higher than whatever your state says. The state will typically say 80 to 100 square feet per person. Like I told you earlier, we do 300 to 500 square feet per person. So that's just an example of your state's going to have bare minimum requirements, and what we show you is above and beyond. So if you follow our methods, you're going to be a-okay. What's the URL for the profitability calculator, Jeff? It is it is a bonus as you buy one of the courses. So when you buy them, you will get access to that. Do you need, does the owner and operator need a license, Louis? No. So the physical home has a license. The licensed administrator has a license. Then the caregiver has a license. You, the owner of the home, does not have a license. The home, the admin, the caregivers. What's the minimum persons you should have in a home? Do you always shoot for the state max? And what is there a minimum to be profitable? I would say above 6 would be my minimum. And here's the thing, Roger, for you as the owner to have 6 or 12, it's the exact same thing for you as the owner. So I highly suggest that you go to the maximum in your state. Awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I think that was all the Q&A questions. So if there's anything else, I'm happy to answer, but I know we've all got to go catch that Heat game. So thanks so much for having me, Anish and Alexa. I really appreciate it.
That was awesome, Isabel. I just have to say, just like coming from someone that I went to college for healthcare administration, so all of these topics are very familiar from like my studies. And this is definitely something that's on my bucket list to do, just because of everything about it, because of there's just not one thing wrong with this. I just so grateful. Thank you so much for coming in, and you killed those questions. Like, honestly, everyone, virtual round of applause for Isabel, just nailing all those questions so well. So one thing, how long do you want to allow this offer with our group?
Great
Do you
question.
want to give them
Whatever you and Anish recommend.
So I'm we're all about being in action here at BPM RIA. So I have to be, this is like something we have to preach. We have to practice what we preach. So I'm thinking, do you want to give them this weekend to get to it? Sunday midnight?
Perfect. Love it.
Okay.
We'll make it work till then.
Midnight Sunday, guys. This offer will be valid. So I will have the replay available for everyone. I will send you all a thank you email as soon as we hop off this Zoom meeting. So look out for my email, everybody. Alexa@bpmria.com. I'll send you her link. I'll send you Katie's email. So if you guys have any questions about the offer, please email Katie. And as you guys know, the bonus for tonight only, the digital profitability calculator and roadmap to success. So again, we're all about taking action here. And again, thank you, Isabel. You rocked it. Oh gosh, that was so good. I just love this topic so much. So thank you guys all for being in here. I do have a winner for the raffle. He's still in here, Mr. Schulman. You won the 1-year membership to BPM RIA, so congratulations. I will go ahead and send you an email. Joseph Schulman, congrats. I'll get with you and get you your 1-year membership to BPM RIA, so you can access all the membership goodies. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Isabel. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next week on Tuesday. Bye-bye. Go Heat. Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat. Let's go Heat. Bye, everybody.